had to do the thing. I had to. I know that pretty much every person's gonna be reviewing this movie is gonna be doing that, but look, it works, okay, and it works for a reason. We got an update on the room update. I actually have a bed now, which is pretty cool, so I won't be sleeping on the couch anymore. 3 cheers for that. I'm happy about that. In M. Night Shyamalan's latest film, Knock at the Cabin, love and all its forms is put on the most brutal of display, in my opinion, to wonderful effect. To me, it's a film about love, particularly this loving couple played pretty solidly by Jonathan Groff and Ben Aldrich. And I just gotta say, it's so refreshing to see a couple in a horror movie that actually love each other. You know, in most of these movies, they're sort of very aloof to one another and they're trying to do that kind of moody thing, but they don't mess around with that. Like, we get to see them having fun and like singing along to what's it called? Boogie Shoes. They're singing along to Boogie Shoes with their daughter. And it's like a good, heartwarming moment, you know? And we're allowed to see these moments through flashbacks that happen throughout the film, which I think is a great way to do it. And the two leads have a beautiful chemistry that is as essential to this film as air is to people. And it is precisely this chemistry that, to me, successfully makes up for pretty underwritten characters. When the film started, I was worried that M. Night Shyamalan's fingerprints were staining the screen as I watched this conversation done entirely in an extreme, the closest of close-ups, and when they cut back and forth, and when I say close, it was close, like this close. I was like, oh my God, because... And this is just the thing with M. Night. I feel like he has this uncontrollable urge, no matter what kind of movie he's making, to be this avant-garde kind of director. And look, I like weird movies, okay? I like slow movies. I like strange movies. I'm not opposed to that. But when he makes these decisions with his shots, it feels like he's making them out of a what-if scenario rather than an essential creative decision to tell the story. Like, what if we shot this conversation 3 inches from the actors' faces? Or what if the camera was fixed to Rupert Grint's head as he was pummeled into a bloody pulp? Thankfully, these novelties fail to scar the gorgeous cinematography from Yaron Blaschke, best known for his work with Robert Eggers on movies like Lighthouse and Witch and the most recent Northman. And he shoots it on this gorgeous, just immaculate Kodak film, which gives it this almost sentimental look, like really golden and glowing, almost like these are memories of better times. And I noticed that, except for maybe the ending, it rarely ever feels dark and gloomy like a lot of horror films. Again, don't get me wrong. I like dark and gloomy, okay? I've been there. I've done that. I like those kind of movies, but it's just so refreshing to see a horror movie where it's like, oh, people are happy, and like, oh my God, this is like a genuinely happy couple, and they're going on a vacation. Like, the cinematography, even when these terrible things are happening, the cinematography still maintains that sort of vacation retreat feeling that we started out with. And where Groff and Aldrich show us the more unrequited honeymoon phase of the film, the four people that make the titular Knock at the Cabin show us more of a melancholic affection. They are sojourners through each other's lives, bonding through these horrible visions they've had like molecules, right? And they have this beautiful love for the world and everyone in it. They love the couple who they eventually tie to chairs. And to me, it was that reluctant mission that really drew me in and made me really zealous about it. The way they broke down the cabin doors only to repair them scenes later. I think stuff like that was just so interesting and intriguing to me that it just made me want to keep going. But amidst the four, Lawrence has to shine the best for me. This is Dave Bautista's best role since Blade Runner. Just the sheer compassion of this man, contradicted with his brutal, insurmountable passion of these visions he's having. He just made the film for me. And don't get me wrong, like, the other people are good, but they're just kind of formulaic. Like, they have the central character quirk and then brief backstory. And that's kind of just how they do it. But thankfully, God, they don't have the just suffocating quirkiness that a lot of Shyamalan characters have. Like, go back and look at his discography. The Happening, the hot dog guy, how people just bring up random shit in his movies. They don't really do that in this movie, and that may be the other two writers talking, it's co-written. But thankfully it does save the movie from that, which I was very happy about. Unfortunately, I don't think Shyamalan has made a very avant-garde film, but or really ever does for that matter. But what he has made is a supremely solid horror thriller that never drags, even for a second. And while to me it's a little less thought-provoking than a movie like this could have been, in my opinion, it did make me think about love in a film where a man's head is split apart with a pike. So it's pretty neat. You know what kind of movies you want me to talk about? Like I've been talking about the most recent movies, but if you got a movie, if you got a favorite movie, all right, listen, don't be afraid, okay? I might not like it, but I will certainly talk about it, and it may be very aggressive. I may be specifically calling out your name and saying why I don't like you for that movie, but please let me know if you want me to talk about anything. Sorry if my my voice is a little worse this time around. I'm getting over a cold. I'm dying. I'm literally dying. So if you see another video from me, it will be from a ghost. So don't trust him because he's gonna have the same opinions as me, but he's not actually me. So please don't don't trust him.